Where are banks exchanging IQD and VND in the US right now? Big profits could start today, including the intro for your channel RV News, written in paragraph format as requested. Welcome back to RV News, your trusted source, for real-time updates and deep dives into the Iraqi Dinar, Vietnamese Dong, and all major developments surrounding currency revaluation news. If you're holding IQD or VND right now, buckle up. Today's report could mark a significant turning point. We're hearing real movement from the banking sector across the US, and the buzz on the ground is that some locations may already be conducting exchanges. So if you've been watching and waiting, this might be the moment where things truly begin to shift. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any critical updates. Now, let's get right into the big question everyone is asking. Where exactly are banks exchanging IQD and VND right now in the United States? And could major profits actually begin today? Over the last few weeks, whispers in financial circles have grown louder. Currency holders from coast to coast have been reporting unusual activity inside major U.S. banks, from Chase and Wells Fargo to Bank of America and even some regional credit unions. Customers are being asked quiet questions. Do you currently hold any foreign currency? And more importantly, are you aware of any upcoming revaluation events? These questions aren't coming out of nowhere. They're signs that something is brewing behind the scenes. And while no bank has officially announced full-scale redemption or exchange services for the IQD or VND at the new rumored rates, the patterns we're seeing suggest a stealthy rollout may already be in progress. Take, for example, recent reports coming out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Several holders of both IQD and VND who bank with Wells Fargo and Chase have shared firsthand experiences that suggest some branches are already quietly verifying their currency and preparing their accounts for instant liquidity. In one documented case, a customer with over 10 million Vietnamese Dong was advised to return later in the week when tiered exchanges would begin, language that echoes what we've heard for years about multi-tier exchange systems with preferred customers, NDA options, and contract rates. And that's not just Texas. Similar stories have emerged from Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and even smaller states like Idaho and Maine. This is no longer isolated. Let's talk about what we know. The IQD, currently still trading at a program rate of around 1,300 dinars to the US dollar, has been on a slow but deliberate path toward international recognition. Behind closed doors, conversations involving the Central Bank of Iraq, IMF, World Bank, and U.S. Treasury have taken on an urgent tone in the last 60 days. Recently, leaked documents from diplomatic sources suggest that the Iraqi government has completed all the benchmarks required under the IMF Article 8 compliance, which is often viewed as the last major hurdle before a true revaluation can occur. Pair that with increasing political stability in Iraq, rising oil exports, and new trade deals with both China and Europe, and the picture becomes clearer. Iraq is positioning itself for global financial integration. Meanwhile, Vietnam has been preparing for its own financial evolution. The State Bank of Vietnam has reportedly upgraded its banking infrastructure, digital currency settlement systems, and foreign exchange transparency models, all signs of a country aiming for a more competitive place in the global economy. And while the VND still sits at roughly 23,000 to 25,000 per dollar depending on the market, behind-the-scenes chatter suggests a substantial revaluation could come alongside a synchronized global currency adjustment. This would place the VND at a much more advantageous rate, potentially offering windfall profits to early holders who exchange at precisely the right time. So why now? Why today? Why are we suddenly seeing banks take quiet yet concrete steps toward engaging with IQD and VND holders? The answer may lie in the new international settlement system that the U.S. Treasury and Federal Reserve have begun rolling out under Project Polaris, a revamped platform that integrates CBDC compatibility, asset-backed settlements, and instant exchange verification. Several insiders have confirmed that this system has been tested using the IQD and VND as test currencies. That's no coincidence. It means these two currencies, long believed to be sleepers in the global reset, are being prioritized in ways that suggest imminent movement. In practical terms, this means that certain bank branches have already received internal memos about potential customer inquiries involving emerging market currencies. In fact, we've spoken directly with banking personnel in multiple states who, under condition of anonymity, revealed that training sessions have begun within Tier 1 and Tier 2 banks on how to handle large volume currency exchanges, how to identify counterfeit bills, and how to verify ownership documentation for holders of IQD and VND. This doesn't happen by accident. When multiple branches of different banks all begin training simultaneously, it means a national directive has gone out, probably tied to a specific date or expected launch window. Several viewers of RV News have reached out with their personal encounters. One gentleman in Phoenix, Arizona, shared that after years of getting no from every bank he asked, he recently walked into a U.S. bank location and was quietly directed to a senior financial advisor. That advisor reviewed his holdings of IQD, asked for contact details, and promised a secure appointment setup within the next 72 hours once their system goes live. In Tampa, Florida, a woman who holds both IQD and VND was told by her Bank of America wealth manager that things are progressing much faster than people realize, and was offered a pre-exchange consultation. These aren't just random interactions. They form a pattern. Banks are preparing for something, and those in the know, the currency holders who have stayed informed and remained patient, could be the first to benefit as soon as those doors officially open. But here's the kicker. If even a soft exchange window opens today or in the coming days, it could change everything. It would mean the long-speculated revaluation isn't just real, it's beginning. We're also hearing strong indications that certain test redemptions may already be underway in private banking circles. High-net-worth individuals who have quietly accumulated millions in IQD and VND are reportedly being contacted directly by bank executives with options for early contract rates. These rates vary, some as low as 0.45 for the VND, others as high as 1.25, but in all cases, the banks are asking for strict NDAs and total silence. That alone speaks volumes. If the revaluation was fake or not imminent, there would be no reason for this level of secrecy, nor for these targeted offers to exist. So what should you do if you're holding IQD or VND right now in the US? First, stay calm and prepared. Do not rush to exchange unless you are certain the rate is live and verified. Second, call your local bank branches, not just the tellers, but the wealth management departments, the currency exchange desks, and private banking reps. Ask directly if they are currently engaging in any transactions involving the Iraqi Dinar or Vietnamese Dong. Third, secure your documentation, proof of purchase, certificates of authenticity, and any receipts showing your currency's origin. Banks are reportedly requiring these before any exchange appointments can be booked. More importantly, stay tuned to credible sources like RV News. We're monitoring daily bank memos, Treasury Department bulletins, and insider communications that reveal when and where the next major moves are likely to happen. Our sources have never been more confident that this revaluation is not only real, but imminent. While official announcements have yet to hit mainstream media, the groundwork is undeniably being laid across the country. Let's talk about where some of these exchanges are most likely to take place first. Based on multiple confirmations and insider tips, we're hearing that redemption centers, often disguised as regular bank branches, are being activated in key U.S. regions. These include Houston, Dallas, and Austin, Texas, major financial centers with large volumes of IQD and VND holders. Banks like Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo have been increasing security presence at specific branches. Atlanta, Georgia, and Charlotte, North Carolina, regional hubs for private banking and currency exchange. Several viewers have reported being contacted by wealth advisors in these cities: Southern California, San Diego, Orange County, Los Angeles, known for international banking relationships, especially with Asian currencies. Several banks here are quietly verifying VND accounts. Phoenix, Arizona, and Las Vegas, Nevada, high density of currency holders and an unusually high number of recent bank inquiries. New York City and northern New Jersey, home to several global banks' U.S. headquarters, Private exchanges may already be taking place here under full confidentiality. Chicago and Detroit, Midwestern strongholds, where regional banks have reportedly received federal-level memos about upcoming asset-backed foreign exchange events. This national footprint confirms what we've suspected for a long time. This is going to roll out in waves. It will start with private clients, move to early redemptions through appointments, and finally transition into full public exchange access. But those first few days, maybe even the first few hours, could be where life-changing profits are made.